Hello, fellow bookworms. It's great to be back with you, sharing the joy of reading and diving deep into another powerful story. If you're anything like me, a good book is like a warm blanket and a hot cup of tea on a chilly evening. It's a comfort, an escape, and a journey all rolled into one. Today, we're embarking on a journey with Educated, the captivating memoir by Tara Westover. Buckle up, because this isn't your average coming-of-age story. It's a raw and honest account of one woman's fight for knowledge and her escape from a life many of us can only imagine. Are you ready to turn the page with me? Let's dive in. Imagine a childhood where textbooks are non-existent and the classroom is a junkyard in rural Idaho. That's the world Tara Westover introduces us to in Educated. This memoir is her story, a story of resilience, determination, and the transformative power of education. Tara's childhood was far from ordinary. Raised in a survivalist Mormon family, she grew up isolated from mainstream society. Homeschooled by a mother skeptical of formal education and a father grappling with mental illness, Tara's world was one of physical labor, religious fervor, and a distrust of the outside world. But even in the shadows of Buck's Peak, Tara yearned for something more. Educated is the story of that yearning, the yearning for knowledge, for self-discovery, and for a life beyond the confines of her upbringing. Can you relate to that yearning for something more? Have you ever felt like an outsider looking in? Tara's childhood was one of extremes. Her days were spent working alongside her siblings in her father's junkyard, the air thick with the scent of metal and the constant hum of machinery. Evenings were dedicated to her mother's herbal remedies and the teachings of her father, a man deeply suspicious of the government and convinced the end of days was near. Formal education was deemed unnecessary, even dangerous. Doctors were to be avoided, and hospitals were viewed as gateways to hell. Tara's world was small, insular, and governed by a set of beliefs that often defied logic and reason.
Yet, even amidst the chaos and dogma, my spirit remained unbroken. I devoured the few books I could find, my mind a sponge eager to soak up knowledge. It was this thirst for learning, this innate curiosity, that would ultimately become my lifeline.
What were some of the books that shaped your childhood? Share your favorites in the comments below. Life in the shadow of Buck's Peak was harsh and unforgiving. Tara and her siblings endured grueling labor, their bodies often bearing the scars of their work. But it was the emotional and psychological toll that ran deeper. Tara's father, a charismatic but volatile figure, ruled the family with an iron fist, his paranoia and unpredictable temper casting a long shadow over their lives. One brother's descent into violence and abuse further tested Tara's resilience.
Yet even in the face of adversity, a flicker of hope remained. Driven by an insatiable hunger for knowledge, I taught myself algebra and grammar, my mind becoming my sanctuary.
Her journey to self-education was a solitary one, fueled by stolen moments with borrowed books. The more she learned, the more she realized how much she didn't know. And a yearning for a world beyond the mountain grew stronger with each passing day. Have you ever faced a challenge that seemed insurmountable? How did you overcome it? Section 5, Education, Tara's Ticket to Freedom. At the age of 17, Tara made a life-altering decision.
Armed with a handful of GED textbooks and a heart full of both trepidation and hope, I stepped foot into a classroom for the very first time.
The world of academia was a far cry from the junkyard she knew. Surrounded by peers who spoke a language she was only beginning to understand, Tara felt like an alien in a strange land. But she persevered.
Driven by a thirst for knowledge that burned brighter than any fear, I excelled in my studies. I immersed myself in history, literature, and philosophy, my mind expanding with each new discovery.
Education became her passport to a world she never knew existed, a world where critical thinking was encouraged and different perspectives were valued.
With each passing semester, the distance between my past and me grew wider. Education was not just about acquiring knowledge, it was about forging a new identity, one defined not by the limitations of my upbringing, but by the boundless possibilities of my own potential.
What role has education played in your own life? Section 6, The Price of Knowledge. Tara's pursuit of knowledge came at a cost. As she delved deeper into the world of academia, her beliefs and values began to clash with those of her family.
Her newfound independence, her willingness to question long-held truths, was seen as a betrayal.
The family she once considered her whole world began to crumble around her.
Torn between my love for my family and my yearning for a different life, I found myself navigating a treacherous emotional minefield. Staying silent meant betraying myself, but speaking out meant risking the only world I had ever known.
The price of knowledge, she soon realized, was often loneliness and heartbreak.
Yet even in the face of such profound loss, Tara refused to be defined by her past.
I understood that true freedom lay not in clinging to the familiar but in embracing the unknown, even if it meant walking a path fraught with pain and uncertainty.
Have you ever had to make a difficult decision that required sacrifice? What did you learn from that experience? Section 7. A Transformed Woman. Educated is a testament to the transformative power of education. Tara's journey is a powerful reminder that knowledge is not merely about memorizing facts and figures. It's about expanding our minds, challenging our perspectives, and ultimately, setting ourselves free from the shackles of ignorance and prejudice.
Through education, I was able to step outside the confines of my upbringing and see the world with fresh eyes. I learned to think critically, to question long-held beliefs, and to form my own opinions.
In the hallowed halls of academia, she found not only knowledge but also a sense of belonging and self-acceptance she had never known before.
My story is a beacon of hope, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the transformative power of knowledge.
It's a story that reminds us that no matter where we come from, no matter how difficult our past, we all have the potential to learn, to grow, and to create a better future for ourselves. What are some of the most valuable lessons you've learned on your own journey of self-discovery? Section 8. Resonating with readers. Educated is more than just a memoir. It's a cultural phenomenon that has resonated deeply with readers around the world. Tara's story of resilience, determination, and the pursuit of knowledge has struck a chord with people from all walks of life, transcending cultural and socio-economic boundaries. The book has sparked important conversations about the importance of education, the complexities of family dynamics, and the power of individual agency. It has inspired countless readers to embrace their own journeys of self-discovery, to challenge the status quo, and to never stop learning and growing. Educated is a reminder that even in our increasingly interconnected world, there are still countless untold stories waiting to be heard. It's a call to action, urging us to listen to those stories, to learn from them, and to use our own voices to amplify the voices of others. What are your thoughts on Educated? Share your insights and connect with other readers in the comments. Section 9. The Power of Education. Tara Westover's story is a powerful reminder of the transformative power of education. Education is not just about acquiring knowledge. It's about empowering individuals to break free from the shackles of ignorance, poverty, and oppression. It's about equipping people with the tools they need to think critically, solve problems, and create a better future for themselves and their communities. In a world where access to education is often unequal, and where the very notion of truth is under attack, Tara's story serves as a beacon of hope. It reminds us that education is not a luxury. It's a fundamental human right that has the power to change lives and transform societies. Educated is a call to action, urging us to invest in education, to support teachers and mentors, and to create a world where everyone, regardless of their background, has the opportunity to reach their full potential. How can we work together to make education more accessible and equitable for all? Section 10. Finding inspiration in every story. As we close the book on Educated, let's carry Tara's story with us. Let it serve as a reminder that within each of us lies the potential for growth, for resilience, and for transformation. We all have our own mountains to climb, our own struggles to overcome, and our own unique journeys to embark on. Let's be inspired by Tara's unwavering pursuit of knowledge, her courage to challenge the status quo, and her determination to create a better life for herself. Let's remember that education is not a destination, but a lifelong journey, a journey that has the power to enlighten our minds, enrich our souls, and connect us to a world larger than ourselves. And as we turn the page to the next chapter of our own lives, let's do so with open hearts, curious minds, and an unwavering belief in our own potential to make a difference in the world. What are some other inspiring memoirs you'd recommend to fellow readers? Share your favorites in the comments below. Section 11. Until next time on Pageturner. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the pages of Educated. I hope you found Tara's story as thought-provoking and inspiring as I did. Remember, the power of reading lies not just in the words on the page, but in the connections we make, the conversations we spark, and the reflections we share. Keep those pages turning, and I'll see you back here soon for another unforgettable page-turner experience. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media for more bookish content and community discussions.